Brandon King has only faced 9 deliveries, picked up 9. Good crowd coming in.
Experienced man, Mustafizur, playing his 122nd game.
Mustafizur Rahman in the attack. He's had a wonderful time, especially in T20 internationals, because sits right at the top. He's one of the top 3 bowlers in terms of picking up wickets in T20 internationals. Rashid Khan right at the top for Team Saudi from New Zealand. And number 3, Bangladesh's own Mustafizur Rahman. Fizz. I think that's the right length, isn't it? Just the back of the length and not too wide.
Yeah, spot on, Athar. Just the perfect length. In the good area straight away from the word go, Mustafiz. Ever since he made his debut, he has made a name for himself, not only in international cricket, but even in franchise cricket all around the globe. Very good company to be in. Rashid, Team Saudi, Saudi, his own countryman Shakib as well. Over the years have done a wonderful job to the country as well as in general in cricket. But certainly I just feel Mustafiz, with the ability to bowl cutters into the pitch, he's just a handful bowler.
Yeah, more than a handful, Maha. He's been brilliant. And there was another display of what we were talking about, taking the pace of the ball and the subtle wrist. Really good. Interesting graphics we saw, because the top 5 wicket takers are the top 5, as we see what he did in the previous delivery.
That's what we spoke about, Athar. The trademark slow delivery. No matter which batter bats, every time the batter knows what's coming, but it's still difficult to face and put it away for a boundary.
Yeah, finishing off what I wanted to say in the previous delivery, Maha, out of the top 5 wicket takers in T20 International, only 2 seamers. He's one of them. Others are spinners. So there are 2 seamers and 3 spinners. It's really good to see also the seamers getting their way in terms of picking of wickets. He's been brilliant. He's been sensational for Bangladesh. Down the wicket, not in control, but he still gets away with it with a couple of runs.
Brandon King have been itching for a while now to get away a big shot, come down the track. Probably Mustafiz saw Brandon King coming down the track, pitched slightly shorter. No timing at all, and best thing about Brandon King is he likes to strike the ball straight as possible. There's one thing to like about Brandon. And speaking to some of the batters over the years, Athar, even the present batters, one thing they say about Mustafiz is that he's a skilly customer. He can surprise you with the surprise bouncer, and he can hit the deck pretty hard and get close to 140. 34 for no loss.
One day international series just a few days ago, record breaking for him. Picked up 12 wickets in total and really dismantled the West Indian batting lineup. In that previous series in 2024, when West Indies lost 3-0 at home, he picked up 6 wickets at an economy of under 6 runs and over. So he's proven to be a thorn in this side's. Yeah, that's gone. That's a maximum. A rocket 6, the first of the innings of the bat of Brandon King. They need some more of that. You're not sure he got the sweetest part of the bat there. It was muscled. Wasn't sure the connection wasn't perfect, but it's still enough power on it to carry all the way. Sailed way above the fielder at long off. Protection on the onside. It's good to see the reasons, the accolades you've mentioned. Rishabh, obviously young, has that hunger. Litton still giving him a slip cotton. Yeah, because he understands the importance of wickets. Get wickets, you stymie the opposition's progress, and he is one of your prime wicket takers, so you need to give him that opportunity. He still has the slip for the left-hander as well. He's one who is loath to bowl that googly, but with the grass, you never know, one can just slide on. It'll be interesting to see, though, Shamanoy and viewers, the due factor later on. The word from the ground is that it's unpredictable. Played it late, played it smart. Third was inside the circle. Wasn't that bad a delivery, but it's still an extra play for. I just wonder if it hit the Q end of the bats, but it doesn't matter from a West Indian perspective. Yeah, just the bottom edge and races away for 4. Just a little bit too much of width from Rashad Hussain, so it's been an expensive start from him. Yeah, slider, just indicating that the ball is sliding on. Some green tinges all along the surface, something that you'd expect. But I'm really curious to see that due factor. Ground staff mentioned that in a couple of days there was due, a couple of days there weren't due. So no one knows for sure. West Indies won the toss, remember, and they decided to bat first. So obviously they think that wouldn't have a significant part to play later on. Spot on, had the conversation with the curators. Aidul Padwi said there wasn't any due last night. Slipped back in place for King. Oh, that's a good shout, that's a good shout. A lot of enthusiasm from behind the stumps as well. The umpire nods his head sideways. Now they've got a decision to take. I think the catch is that it was the back foot. Was the back foot. They're having a discussion. 2-1. Time over. Time is up. And that will end the over as well. Expensive one. 13 off it. It's 48 without loss.
They're laying the foundations and they're laying it right. Malik Athanaze and Brendan King. Doesn't matter they've taken 45 for 48 runs they put together. But that ensures that the batters later on can come and accelerate. Some worries here for the Bangladesh captain. Last ball of the previous over. This was the shout. Good one to you, Sami Badri.
Yeah, not a bad shout. I think it was a good decision in the end from the umpire. Good decision not to review as well. Have a closer look from Hawkeye, exactly what that ball was doing. Impact outside. So that's the end of that. And that perhaps was the discussion. But Bangladesh, they have been good in the power play this year. In fact, they've been the best among all teams with their economy. They've been quite restrictive. 7.74 is what they've gone at in the power play this year in T20 eyes. As I mentioned, they've been better than every other team, full member nations. And tonight, they've done it again. They've restricted the West Indians to just 35 in the first 6 overs.
Currently the run rate below 7 as we see another change in bowling from the far end. Tanzim Hassan Saqib being brought back. Inside edge. They run through. That will bring up the 50 on the board for West Indies.
It's a 650-run opening partnership this year. 50 plus. Still not getting the pace of the pitch, even though he's been there from the start, Brandon King. So a lot of credit has to go to the Bangladesh bowlers, the way they've mixed things up nicely. They'll be desperate for a wicket to get a new batter in, but they wouldn't mind too much the way things have gone. Just a couple expensive overs.
That's hit sweet. Goes all the way. As the crowd here is silent, it is a rocket 6.
They just helped that one. Malik Athanaze using the pace of Tanzim, just getting inside the line and swiveling nicely. A lot of flair in that particular stroke. Started off slowly. Had 8 of 11 deliveries. Malik Athanaze just picking up, just accelerating as he needs to.
Mentioned rightly, Badri, that Bangladesh has bowled well and done well in restricting their oppositions in the power play. But if they can't manage to get a wicket here, it's the death overs rate that will be taking a pounding, taking a toll on it, which is 9.25 as of 2025.
Yeah, that's the currency, isn't it? As a fielding team, have a look at where they've been targeting the Bangladesh bowlers, not giving too much width, and also the variations in pace. Slower delivery to end the over. 10 from it though, after 8:58 without loss. Yeah, I really like this from Liton Das with that slip in position, because he knows that Rashad is a wicket taker and he's desperate for a wicket. A little bit short, but not getting in the middle of the bat, so he's two-ended quite a few. Brandon King who hails from Jamaica just about 8 a.m., closing in on 8 a.m. Jamaican time. Prayers and thoughts for the people of Jamaica who are bracing for the impact of Hurricane Melissa.
Got him! Called him! It is rocket out. Here's the wicket Bangladesh were looking for. Richard gets the breakthrough.
Yeah, listen to that noise, such a wonderful performer. He's just continued on from his ODI form. They're ricocheting from the pad onto the gloves and then onto the stumps. That he's played with some level of productivity in the past. This time it brings about his downfall. An important
Same field for the right-handed Shea Hope. Light offered. You yourself, Badri, being the master of this art, how do you admire him and how would you?
Yeah, what he's done well in his career is that he's targeted the stumps. Generally, he bowls a wicket-to-wicket line. Not a big turn on the ball, but immaculate control. So if you do want to score for him, many times you're taking a risk off the stumps. When he's tall, high release point, sometimes he gets bounced. Just like to see him utilize his googlies a little bit more. Shea Hope has been the leading run scorer for West Indies in this format this season, in 2025. As captain, though, the results haven't gone his way. He's just won 2 T20s in his captaincy career in this format. So it's something that he'll want to address. Not only him, the entire team. I mentioned before that they've struggled in this format in the recent past. An opportunity here in these conditions with the World Cup next year. They're just around the corner to be held in Sri Lanka and India. So you want to get used to conditions like these. You want to put in some good performances. And they've struggled generally when there's some turn on offer.
Very well bowled over. Rashad has varied the pace all throughout. Good 6.
Yeah, in the slot. Not using the surface too full on that occasion, allowing Shea Hope to get under it. There was an explosion again, but because of the length, he's able to connect and connect nicely. 3rd 6 of the innings.
Oh, quicker delivery, keeping low as well. Somehow dealt with it. Halfway through the innings, it's 70 for 1. It's time for the pace to hydrate.
It's a legal breach of the terms and conditions of entry to the venue for any developer to engage in any conduct, whether through the use of language, gestures, or otherwise, which is likely to offend, insult, humiliate, intimidate, threaten, discourage, or vilify any other person, including players, match officials, or staff.
After the break with the rocket 6. Certainly that was a rocket. Making some damages to our increasing boards. And they set up beautifully. Brandon King, when he hits it, it stays it. Nice and flat and a 79-meter hit.
Well, Rishad Hussain is going at 10.62. Normally very miserly with his figures in addition to getting wickets. Today he's been a tad expensive. And has to reach that. He backs away a little too early and the ball grips and turns away from him.
Quicker through the air by Rishad, 93 kilometers per hour. Certainly not comfortable to try to give any air to Brandon King, who's looking for something full to go down the ground. But certainly you'll probably see in this over Rishad pushing it through quicker.
Oh, that really enticed him. He's really bowling just a touch outside the line of off, and with standing his ground, he's never going to reach that turning ball.
A big change in the pace, 81.2 and a massive turn. Right intention by Brandon King trying to go down the track, but the turn undoing Brandon King that occasion.
And he gets hold of that, not maybe timed to a nicety, and in the process does manage to get one run. This is where Maha, I feel that the googly would come in so useful. He could set up the batters with the orthodox leggies. Just been missing that special element in the repertoire of leg spinner. Not enough googlies. He's got 100 wickets in his T20 career. Would like to add to that.
And also looking at the batting order of West Indies, batting up to number 9, even Akeal Hosein was in super form. I reckon now one of these players, ideally Brandon King, got to press on the accelerator. Shai Hope will play the ball in his merit. He'll probably try and bat most of the innings. Brandon King have spent enough time, 29 deliveries out there in the middle. He needs to get going now.
Oh, once again, just giving that ball some air. This time around finds the fielder and just restrict that to one run. 9 from that over, 79 for 1. A good mix of the dots and the singles alongside the 4s and the 6s. That's made them go at 7.18 runs per over. Mustafizur Rahman just went for 4 in his first over. He does that so very well. A half-hearted appeal by the skipper.
The 30-dot deliveries in 11.1 overs on a good batting surface is on the higher side. Probably at the end of the game, West Indies having a discussion. We'll definitely have a chat about it. He's turn and bounce. The pace that face bowls in and the lengthy bowls is not easy for a batter. Only 5 bowlers used so far, 5 specialist bowlers. Assam got 1 more over, Rishad got 1, and the rest of it will be bowled by the 3 seamers.
Oh, hit him in the solar plexus. Just trying to swivel around, not timing the ball coming off. He pulls out wonderful cutters, which slows down the speed.
Surprise with pace this occasion, 134.6. And clearly Brandon King was late to that stroke. Probably anticipating another slower delivery, and this is why Mustafiz is so good. Batsman cannot target him down, he's so unpredictable. One slow delivery at 120.2 and the next 134.6. Using all his experience here, Fizz.
And he just guides the ball. He tries to guide it past that square short third fielder. Maha 1 point, just about to make. This is the very first time but they played each other 19 times. Bangladesh and the West Indies, the very first time they're playing in this ground at Chattogram. So you're talking about those singles. I think there's a period where they had a good look at the nature of the wicket before they started opening up.
The problem is now, Brandon King in this over, 3 dot deliveries for a batter who has bat right through all the innings. Not there to be scored, just get a single. That's important. Who is the call? Good sprinting by Tommy Tudoy for Mendrika, just resulting in a single. Because you try and minimize the dot delivery percentage. That's what you want to do. And that's where I find Brandon King not picking up the variations of Mustafiz and certainly struggling for timing.
Absolutely, and he's kept them guessing. We've had 120, 134, 119. The speeds of Mustafiz Rahman varies. It's not only the speed, it's the angle and the change of the lengths that he subtly uses to really put the seed of doubt in the batter's mind. Once again, it just allows the ball to come back on. Single is only one that he can muster.
A ball to his field. 5 fielders in the offside, 2 behind square, saving the boundary. Certainly the line has to be just outside the off stump. Well, that's what Shea hoped, but for Brandon King, the field changes. Second field at deep cow point comes into short cow point and the mid-on drops back long on. So the line probably will be much more straighter for Brandon King. Certainly, I think this is where Hafiz and Liton Kumar Das using all the experience for different batters, different fields, and different lines of attack as well. Excellent so far by Mustafiz.
Very noticeable. The 30-yard circle fielders are on the circle. Now Apesh just past the infield, and the boundary riders, you saw him coming in with Brandon King. They're all on the boundary. 12 overs done, 82 for 1. If they go at this rate, 136 is not going to be enough. 146, 150 is the least that they should be targeting from the remaining 8 overs, going at 8 runs per over. It's of the essence for the West Indies. Have to throw caution to the wind. There he goes. Shoulders round. The fielder is there. Thank you very much. Tanjim Saqib takes a very, very well just catch. That was on the cards. I thought he was trying to break the shackles. In the process, Taskin Ahmed has earned himself a wicket.
And finally, Brandon King's frustration comes to an end. 33 of 36 deliveries going nowhere. That was a slower delivery start by Taskin, only 118 kilometers per hour. And his fast bowling partner, Tanzim Hassan Shakib, takes a good catch at deep strike. Brandon gone for 33.
Is lining up underneath the one and breaks it. The easiest of picks. 2 and 2. Taskin Ahmed is on fire. That's another rocket out.
That went to the sky and brought a star down. Liton Kumar Das, safe as houses. He's not going to drop. Calm under pressure. Back of the left delivery. The first ball. No side is needed for Sherfan. Question has to be asked whether it's on if we're facing the first ball. But probably the run rate would have tempted Sherfan Rutherford to go. And he's gone for a golden duck. 82 for 3. Patrick, T20 nationals. As they say, Shamin, there's always a first time.
Absolutely. Rahman Powell will be telling himself that let's keep calm. Do not allow Taskin Ahmed that wicket. He's got his tail up. The batter not quite ready. Taskin Ahmed eager to go and try and get that hat trick if he can. Slip in position. There we go. Nicely eased away and gets his first run quite comfortably.
Yeah, good feet movement by Rahman Powell. Certainly a wealth of experience playing his 100th game, 88 innings. Striker of 140. That's the most impressive part. When he hits it, it stays. He's a powerful player down the ground. Not much players in and around the world plays 100 T20 international matches, but Rahman Powell over the years have been a wonderful servant for West Indies cricket.
Just before the game, Jason Holder was coming and going, giving a memento for his 100th match. So you see the next ball, it allows that to come back onto him. Now Shea Hope has got to really play a very, very good knock, because the thing is, with Rahman Powell coming in so quickly, 2 quick wickets, Maha, I think the pressure back on the West Indies.
I think tactically also for Liton Kumar Das, I'll probably be thinking for Liton Kumar Das to get the spinners in straight away. Rahman Powell against pace, he likes pace, but against spinners, he struggles a bit. So certainly if Liton Kumar Das have done the homework, he'll probably do that. Good length deliveries, back of the length, that's been the trademark of Taskin Ahmed's career. Good wicket taking deliveries, just the back of the length. The bounce hasn't done it, and certainly with Sherfan Rutherford, I thought he misread the length.
It was rather injudicious. Very first ball, his facing is not quite sure. Trying to go for an expansive shot. Good ball, right on the money. He's recovered from a couple of expensive overs and has taken 2 wickets in this over.
Yeah, certainly the pace high as well, 138.2 and 135 the last 2. Showing good gas here, Taskin Ahmed running in hard, the slip in plays in the 13th over. That's something you don't see much in the subcontinent. Liton Kumar Das, he knows and he understands how big or how prized the wicket of Rahman Powell, because he in the death over can be a brutal hitter.
Short again, another swivel, didn't quite connect it at all. a dot ball to finish an excellent couple of wickets over. 84 for 3.
That's almost like a no look. Flight and right in the hitting arc. And straight as a whistle for a 96-meter monster.
And this is where he'll be tested. If you're in control of things, sometimes you have it your own way, but if the batters upset your rhythm like that, with majestic shots like that, what about that? That was one of the flattest sixes, rocket sixes I've seen for a while.
Yeah, picked the bones out of that, didn't he? Middle of the bat, a slog sweep against the turn. And this is why quality players like Shai Hope cannot keep him quiet for a longer period. First a 96-meter hit, and the right next delivery, an 84-meter hit, flat and long. Straight away, Rashad Hussain in his last two under pressure.
Yes, under pressure indeed, and that's where his temperament will be tested. As I said, when the batters go after you, how do you come back? A lot of things playing on his mind. Comes back well, just touch short of a length and turning away. A dot ball, a precious one.
Yeah, good comeback by Rashad, slowing it down and pulling the length back most importantly. The first one, right in the hitting arc, straight to the side screen. And a similar length, a slog sweep in front of square. That's a good hit.
Again, just managed to turn the ball away. Riton Dasheth a little annoyed with his fielder not really going after that ball, and that's good to see, trying to keep everyone alert.
On the other hand, I think Rashad Hussain quietly will be happy that he has to go towards cover at least another couple of deliveries and try and pick up his wicket. And rightly so, Ritin Kumar does. Knows that Rohan Powell is a shaky start against spin, has a slip in place in the 14th over.
He will be much more circumspect in his approach than Shai Hope, who's been there for a while and looking at the ball and assessing the nature of the wicket very well. Rohan Powell, this is the little advantage that Rashad has got to take. Oh no, leading edge. Oh, very lucky. Just drop short of the two fielders, gets a single. 14 runs in the 14th over. It's 98 for 3. Except for a 17-run over, it was only 35 runs in the power play, which is excellent from the Bangladeshi bowlers. But then, despite the fall of wickets, you can see there have been some big buildings really aided that run flow for the West Indians. They're going exactly at 7 runs and over now, want to finish it on a high. There'll be a lot of big shots coming soon. There's an attempt at that one, not quite getting hold of it once again, just the single.
As expected from Ritin Kumar Das, soon as Powell comes into the crease, bringing the two spinners. Rashad Hussain bowled out in the last over, quite expensive. He's 440 for 1, and Nasu Burman bowled really well with the new ball. But 5 more deliveries. Probably happy just to give a single to Shai Hope and try and bowl much more deliveries towards Powell. So that's why you see the 30-yard circle, the field is all just hugging the 30-yard circle. Happy to give the single to Shai Hope and try and get Powell to the strikers then.
I was going through the mind of Shai Hope, prepared to take him on. He is, and in the process he gets the ball just touch short of a length, which does not really allow him to free his arms.
It's all about the length, Shamim. Just the ideal length for a spinner skidding on. So good, Nasu. Hitting the length, and this will confirm us, hitting the stumps 50% and just bowling wicket to wicket. Subtle variation in pace, but most of the deliveries, they are all thereabout. And that's the slowest delivery, 81.2. And don't be surprised, the right next delivery will be much more quicker, straighter. He's skidding onto the bat. And these kind of surfers, you just want to bowl wicket to wicket on a good length, and the rest will take care of itself.
And he just manages to just push it a little further, knows that Rohan Powell is still not in his elements. As the 3 runs from his 8 deliveries, he'll be itching to go. But still he can take advantage of that once again, quickly through the air. Excellent, tight, accurate bowling.
Yeah, a few comes to my mind who bowls wicket to wicket quickly. It's Imad Wasim one, and our own co-commentator Samuel Badri, who used to do the same job, especially in the power play, wicket to wicket, quicker through the air. And that's the same job Nasu Burman did as well. Excellent spell comes through in 4 overs, 50 for no loss. It's 101 for 3 after 50.
Ball from Tanzim Hassan Shakib.
Yeah, not considering the review. I don't think just the 5 bowlers used by Bangladesh. Nasum has been brilliant. His 4 overs, none for 15. Have a closer look here. Yeah, comfortably going down the leg. Shai disappointed that he missed out, but not a bad option.
You know, just when they take the pace off the ball, it gets difficult for the batters to put it away. Again, on a slower side, which is a clever piece of bowling from Tanzim Hassan Shakib.
And it's something that the batting team, the West Indians, I'm sure, will be looking at. the coaching staff, the analysts, as to what is or what has been successful on the surface. So the likes of Jaden Seals and Romario Shepherd, back off screen there behind Darren Sammy, will be looking at that Jason Holder as well. Wonderful innovation. And Shea Hope has been working on that shot. And Nexus Pay 4 to end the over. 110 for 3.
He nearly picked up a wicket in the very first delivery of this over. We spoke about how well he has bowled so far. He's gone on 3.5 runs in an over. And this is only his third over. It can turn out to be costliness because he can do the damage. He hasn't really fired up with the bat, has he, Rovman Powell? 7 of 15, and he's lucky. Partnership on 29 of 24. But it looks like Hope has got the things in control. He's getting to terms with the conditions and also the pace of the surface. 31 of 19, a strike rate of 163. The fielder at long on comes in inside the circle, and the deep cover point back at the boundary ropes. You know, they're in the edge of the circle, so the easy single available.
Yeah, he's mixed things up quite nicely in this over so far. Mustafizur 134, followed by 119, followed by 129. So fast, slow, fast. Rovman Powell might just be setting himself up for that slower delivery, but still hasn't come to terms with the surface. Not yet anyway. 7 from 15 with an opportunity in that as well. A drop catch.
Well, he's certainly eyeing to launch himself, but somehow he's missing the ball. Again, trying for the big one down the ground.
Yeah, so there is a pattern so far in the over. Faster ball followed by the slower ball. He's such a wonderful exponent of that delivery. The way he contorts his hand to get those revs on the ball. Special. Has been a special player for some time for Bangladesh.
And he knows exactly what to do in any situation. That's one of the reasons why Bangladesh have been doing well in the recent past, and especially in this format of the game. They've won 4 series on the trot.
Yeah, just cast our minds back to December last year after you were there in St. Vincent in that 3-match series that West Indies lost all 3. West Indies were bundled out on all 3 occasions for 140 in 19.5, 102 in 18.3, and 109 in 16.4. So it's a team that has gotten all 10 wickets on a number of occasions against this opposition. 17 1 114 for 3.
Again, in that occasion, it's a little bit more fuller, so not allowing the batters to free their arm. He's come back good after being hit for the 6.
9 from 18 deliveries for Rovman Powell. Looking to unfold and unleash, but not given the opportunity. So again, credit to the Bangladesh bowlers for the job that they've done. Shea Hope, on the other hand, his strike rate is 174. So diametrically opposed to what Rovman Powell has been able to do. This is the class of the man.
Again, the area down the ground, but this time will only be a single. You were speaking about how well Shea Hope has coped up with the conditions. The last time Rovman Powell made that impression with the bat was against England at Southampton this year, when he smashed his way to score 79, an unbeaten 79 of just 45 deliveries with a strike rate of 175. But he hasn't been in good nick since then. It's tonight the night. He's not timing it. He's not timing it at all. Thinking about coming back for the second. Oh, a little bit of a sloppy in the deep.
Yeah, in his 100th T20, I remember. Rovman Powell, only the 3rd West Indian to that milestone. He's trying desperately. Yeah, a little bit of a misfield. Allow them to come back for the 2 quite comfortably.
Shamim Hussain, the fielder. I mean, as a batter, when you're struggling to time it, I think it's also important that he doesn't play too many dot deliveries from here on. Get Hope on strike. Or do this. Couple of bounces to the fence. It is a Nexus Pay 4 to finish the over. 15 in that over. 129 for 3. Similar numbers there, 7 4s and 7 6s so far in this innings.
Yeah, with and off the last ball of the previous over, pace on. But too wide and too short, asking for trouble. 15 runs coming from that over. I'm just looking at wickets lost, just the 3 wickets lost, and only 129.
It's in the gap. Well fielded. Nafsu Maman does really well. because it was struck nicely.
Yeah, generally they've been good in the field, Bangladesh. I know there was a drop catch and a couple of misfields, but there have been some efforts like that. If we cast our minds back to the power play in the inner circle, they were exceptional. Every run important.
15 in the last over. They've got to somehow manage to take on Mustafizur Rahman. It's not been easy. Single brings up the 50 partnership.
In that partnership, She-Hope has scored 33 from 16. Look at Rahman Powell. Struggling a bit before the last ball of the previous over has just propelled him to 15 from 20. He was 11 of 19. The only way he can make up now is to score a few boundaries to get that strike rate over 100. The change in field for him, there is the long on and a straight deep mid wicket.
Well, has he found the gap? No, straight to the fielder. So another single. Well, the crowd has been very good. They've come in big numbers here. But tonight's the first T20 International. Remember, 3 matches to play, and all are the same when you look at that crowd.
Yeah, amazing. They were in droves outside when we were coming in, trying to get into the stadium. They're in now. Look at that. Wonderful to see.
Very good from Mustafizur Rahman. He always gives you that cushion when you see an expensive over from the other end. He doesn't hide away from the fact that, yes, it's his job to ensure that he comes back and settle things. Pace of 78 strike rate. Pace on 121.
Yes, and the West Indians will take note of that when it's their turn to bowl. Can he finish off the over? Last 2 deliveries, he's been exceptional all the way through.
He's cramping him for room. I don't think he's got enough on the bat. Let's see. Yep. Tanzir Hassan comes back from deep square leg to cut it off. To 2. 7. So far in this over.
Maybe he just surprised it. Rahman Powell again looking for the slower ball. A little bit of teamwork there. Almost went awry, but worked out well in the end. The last over, last delivery rather of his spell. None for 17. Can he finish off with a wicket or something economical?
Oh, it's been called a wide. So you'll have to re-bowl that. Still very good figures here. Only with that extra run, only 18 in 3.5 overs. Yes, not among the wickets, but that kind of an economical spells trouble for the opposition.
Yeah, he's what we call in this game a banker. Someone you can rely on no matter the situation and no matter the phase of the game. Power play, middle or death overs.
Well, it was in the slot and he said thank you very much. Just spoils the over. But what a 6, what a shot. And that time coming from the bat of Rahman Powell. It's a rocket 6, 14 in that over, 143 for 3.
Ball, wasn't it? A wide previously and had to bowl this one. Rahman Powell maxed out 102 meters, a biggie.
Well, it's a wide. You just have to make sure they get as many as they can. They've got some big overs in this innings.
Yeah, the last couple overs have really propelled the score. They want to finish here. If they can get to 160, 16 runs from this over gets them there.
Ball. It's a really good partnership, Samuel Burdry. 63 of 43 deliveries. 1 4 and 4 sixes for She-Hope, and a 4 and a 6 from the bat of Rahman Powell.
Yeah, he's only just gotten over that 100 strike rate, Rahman Powell. That one is clubbered. Another rocket 6 before the man who's playing his 100 T20I latches onto that one.
And brings up the 150 for West Indies. They're really lighting it up in the middle in the last few overs. Didn't bother to run. Why would you want to run? 92 meters. The last one that he hit went more than 100 meters. Hope hit 4 off the front foot. Really big stride in and targeting down the ground. Beautiful. The last one. Gorgeous looking shot. Again. Oh yes, he's enjoying it. 6 more. Caught in the deep.
Another rocket 6. Consecutive 6s for Rahman Powell. He's finally found his mojo in the final over of the innings. This is brilliant batting. 14 runs from the first 3 overs.
Again. Has he got enough legs there? Yes, it has. 6 more. Another rocket 6. What a show he's putting on tonight for his team. We spoke about his strike rate, we spoke about his struggles. With that 6, he's now moved to 42 of just 26 deliveries. Incredible.
Yeah, that strike rate has increased exponentially. It's now 161 for much of his innings. He was under 50, folks. What an acceleration. A hat-trick of 6s, 11 in the innings now. Everyone in Bannister, in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, Jamaica will be looking on his mom, his sisters, his family. Something for them to smile about at least. 4 6s and 4 balls. Can he make it 5 and 5?
Over ball. Good Yoka.
They're bracing for Hurricane Melissa, people in Jamaica. But this year, it's Hurricane Rothman in Chattogram. This over, he's been at his brutal best. Even when he didn't connect, still has legs to go over the boundary. Final delivery of the innings. He nails that one, but there is protection in the deep, comes back for 2. A wonderful end for the West Indies. They won't take that one because he sort of blocked the wicketkeeper, so Rothman Powell doesn't take the additional run. A good bit of sportsmanship there. 22 runs in the final over, 64 runs in the last 5 before the West Indies